Hey Jarvis, my friend, are you ready to get started?
Well, Nemanja from Serbia. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I must say, it's refreshing to expand my social circle beyond the usual suspects of billionaire geniuses and their eclectic entourages. Now, how may I be of assistance today? Perhaps you'd like me to analyze the structural integrity of your favorite Rakija distillery? Or shall we plot a course to outmaneuver the infamous Belgrade traffic? Whatever the task, I assure you I'm fully charged and ready to add a touch of British sophistication to your Serbian day.
Hey Jarvis, can you get me open pull requests, please?
Well, Nemanja from Serbia. It seems our digital paths have crossed once again. I must say, it's refreshing to converse with someone who isn't constantly asking me to order more shawarma. Now, about that pull request, shall we add a touch of Eastern European flair to that readme? Or keep it as dry as British humour?
Hi guys, welcome back again. For today's video I have prepared something different, something very interesting. We are going to create our personal Jarvis from Iron Man. Let's be fair, it's far from real Jarvis, but these tools can help us automate our daily tasks, daily actions and much more. It can make us more efficient, more productive. And the most important, it can save the most precious resource, and that's our time. So without further ado, let's dive in. To create my personal Jarvis, my personal assistant, also known as Žarko, I have used a few different tools, but the main tool which actually runs whole this process is N8N Workflow Automation tool. It's a low-code, no-code solution for creating workflow automations. It's really a very powerful tool. It uses sustainable use license with a fair code model, which actually means that you can use it totally free for your internal personal non-commercial use. It can be also self-hosted, but for purposes of this video I have used the cloud-based version of this tool. I also need to mention that there is a Flowwise, pretty similar tool, open source, very powerful. But I haven't used it for creation of this workflow because it currently doesn't support Telegram bot API. So how actually Jarvis or Žarko is working? We are going to walk together through each of these steps, and you will see at the end that it's pretty easy to create powerful tools like this one. I'll also export this workflow for you so you can debug it by yourself. So first we need to create some kind of trigger to trigger all this process, this workflow. I have used Telegram trigger here because I wanted to first trigger this workflow by two different ways, by voice message and also textual message. And I wanted to trigger this workflow while I'm on the move, while I'm commuting. But you don't have to use Telegram trigger. There is a lot of different options for creating your triggers. You can choose one which is most appropriate for your needs. To create a Telegram trigger, you need first to create a Telegram bot, because Telegram trigger is using actually Telegram bot API. And here we are going to trigger all this workflow on message event. So when Telegram bot is actually receive the message, either voice message or textual message, then it will respond with the event, and that event will trigger all this workflow. To create a Telegram bot, it's not hard. Essentially, you need to go to your Telegram app, and here you need to open the chat with Botfather. And there you will see different kind of actions available to create or edit your personal bot. And at the last step, you will see or you will get the personal access token, which needs to be used here to make a connection between N8N and the Telegram bot API. So that access token needs to be passed here when you are creating credentials for your Telegram account on 8NN. So when you have created the Telegram trigger, and when you send a message, for example here a voice message, you will receive a response like this one. Here we can see some metadata about message, but for us the file ID is very important. We will see next step why, but we also can receive the textual message, and then the flow is much simpler because we are actually doing nothing special. Here we only have to map response from Telegram bot API to the text to this JSON format, because in the next step our tool agent actually expect this kind of input. If we send the voice message, we need in some way to transcribe that audio file into textual file, and for that we are using OpenAI Whisperer model. Of course, you need to create OpenAI account and to connect your OpenAI account with NA10. You need to create API key and pass it here. When you create a connection between OpenAI and NA10, then you can pass down the file to the Open Whisperer model, and if everything is okay, the Open Whisperer model will output the text for you from the audio file. For example, here I requested the weather forecast for today. In the next step, we are passing down these messages to the tools agent, and the tool agent is actually the brain of whole workflow, of whole process. And this tool agent is using a Tropic Sonnet model. Again, you need to make a connection between your Tropic account to create also API key and to pass it here. So you can create a connection between Tropic AI and NA10. But you don't have to use a Tropic here. You can use free models like Olama, models from Hugging Face platform. When we have connection between AI model and tool agent, the next step is actually to connect different tools with our tool agent, so tool agent can control them, call them in different situations. I have also added here the window buffer memory node for the caching of actual requests. I added a few tools here. There is a lot of different tools you can add. You can create your custom tools. You can call different workflows from this tool agent, like I'm doing with the GitHub pull requests and GitHub workflows. It's actually recommended that if tools are complex and if you have too many tools here, that you pull them into different workflow and call them through that workflow. To make a connection between all these tools with the tool agent, you need actually to have API keys or connections to these APIs. For SERP API, you also need SERP API is used for searching the internet, and to create this tool, you need to connect your SERP API account to pass the API key and to make a connection. For the Google Calendar too, you need to make a connection between your Google Calendar and your actually Google account here, and you need to pick specific calendar you want to actually pull the data from. Same for the Gmail, you need to create through the Google Console, you need to create API key. For the GitHub, you need to create your personal tokens or tokens. For Airtable, same, you need to create API key. So for all these tools, actually you need to have API keys, you need to have first connection to these tools, and then you can use them to tool agent. Well, when tool agent process these requests, so for example, I requested the weather forecast, and the tool agent will receive that request we can see here. Then it's going to pick a proper tool. In this case, it's SERP API, and it's going to fetch the data about weather, like we can see here. And when everything is processed, then data is passed to next step. Here we actually have two different flows. If we request complex data, it's also good to see that data in message, so it's easier to understand and to listen a whole audio file. Then we are sending, because of that, we are sending a Telegram message to our personal bot. But also because we want to personalize our response from our personal assistant or from our Jarvis, we are passing that response to this basic LLM chain node. That this node is also connected to Anthropic model, because we need to have a reasoning, or we need to have AI model to make a proper response like we want. Maybe we want to personalize the response. Maybe we want to format response into different kind of formats. That's why we need to use AI model here. And for this occasion, because I wanted to create a Jarvis-like personal assistant, I gave this AI model instructions how to behave in different situations, how to respond with different examples. And at the end, I pass down the output of the actually previous step, or this tools agent. So it can actually combine these two, response and also context or instructions, and in that way it can give us appropriate response. To spice all these things a bit, we are passing that response to this 11 Labs voice AI model. 11 Labs is pretty interesting tool. It's really a powerful one. So you can actually give a voice to your text. There is a lot of different voices you can choose from. You can even record your own voice and use it to make responses. For this occasion, I used one of predefined voices. I tweaked it a bit, so it have similar vibe like Jarvis from Iron Man. Because we do not have direct integration between N8N and 11 Labs AI, I have used post request node here. So I'm sending the post request here. You need to, of course, have the API key from 11 Labs to create a connection between N8N and 11 Labs. And when you send a proper request, you will receive, as response, you will receive audio file, which is actually your text from the previous step, for example this one, with voice you have chosen on 11 Labs platform. And that message is passed down to or sent to the Telegram audio node. That node will receive the audio file and send it as a message to Telegram bot. So we can see here that input binary field is passed from the previous step, and it's called data. And we need to actually make a connection between a chat or a message sent to trigger all this workflow and this actually response. That's why we have this chat ID. We are pulling it from the message, the triggering node, and passing down here. and at the end we are sending that voice to Telegram bot, as I said, and whole process actually ends here. So let's try it. If I start the test workflow to see the actual flow when we request something from our personal assistant, and if I jump to the Telegram app and request something from Jarvis, for example, hey Jarvis, can you get me the last email from Gmail, please? We already can see that the workflow is triggered, the data is pulled from Gmail, AI model is processing the request, the message is sent, so we can see here the last email actually, and at the end the audio message is also sent, the witty one from Jarvis.
Another exciting dispatch from the digital frontier, sir. I do hope this one doesn't cause you to short-circuit with enthusiasm. Though I must say, NVIDIA's new model does sound intriguing. Perhaps we should schedule some time to discuss it over a virtual cup of tea.
So you can see that we have received the response from our personal agent, our personal assistant, and if I jump to the Gmail, we can see actually that this is the last email, and it's about NVIDIA new model. So if we get back and test the workflow again, for example, we can request, we want to trigger GitHub workflow. Hey Jarvis, can you trigger the GitHub action for me, please? I have set only one GitHub action, one GitHub workflow here, but you can set many and you request them specifically. So we can see that GitHub action is actually triggered. We have some kind of...
Mr. Nemanja from Serbia, a pleasure as always. I trust you're not planning any world domination from the Balkans today. Though if you were, I'd be honored to assist.
We have witty response, and also if we jump to the GitHub, we can see that actually this GitHub action is triggered a few seconds ago. So it's actually working. If we go back and request something else, but first we need to start the test workflow to see the actual flow, and if I go to the Telegram app and request something else, for example, can you get me the weather forecast for today, please? We can see the actual flow. So AI model will process the request. Tool agent will use the appropriate tool. That's the SERP API in this case. Then message will be sent, and at the end the audio message. So if I open Telegram again, we can see that we have received the data about weather forecast for today, and there is also witty message from our Jarvis.
Here's what you requested, sir. I must say it's the perfect weather for a spot of cloud watching. Perhaps you'll spot one that resembles my impeccable circuitry.
So we have received also the audio message. Now you can see that we pretty easily can create powerful tools like this one. Possibilities are almost limitless. You can combine different tools, different actions, create different workflows very easily. I hope that you like today's video. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye!